On this episode of Playlog, we're talking about the Steam Summer Sale, our upcoming book club, and whether HollowKnight Silksong will live up to the hype.
Just gonna turn on this light.
Bag, get that shine. Ooh, look at all sparkly. Yeah. Hey guys, CGDannyB back in with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, I can't talk indie gaming alone because that would be boring. So alongside me, I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kids themselves, Tofr. Tofr, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, a date that means nothing to me. But
I was like, I'm like one of those Americans that's just like, if the world doesn't celebrate, I'm like, that's weird. Why don't they celebrate the independence of America? Why can't they celebrate with us? Is it one of those holidays that like sounds so ridiculous? Not ridiculous sounds right. I don't want to put you in a spot of like, fuck America. But like I think the same thing for Thanksgiving, right? Where it's such like an American focused holiday where I'm like, is it just off the radar? Do you guys not even know? Or is America just so loud about it? You hear us being like, oh, they're doing their fireworks today.
Oh, you're loud about it. Very loud about it. But it's fine. You know, it's fine. You guys made us the movie Independence Day, which was really good.
Ooh, it was. I've actually never seen Independence Day.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard it's good. It's got Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got, okay. I was like, wait, was Will Smith in that one? Because then I thought about the new one that has like Liam Hemsworth. I'm like, oh, am I making this up? Am I messing this up? I've never seen Independence Day.
Okay, well,
I should though.
It has the most inspirational 4th of July speech you could ever imagine.
Ooh, okay, so what I'm hearing is I should get a clip of that for 4th of July. Take that speech and make like a really like dramatic TikTok, like the ones where you're like filming the pool and then the guy walks up with his hands in the pocket, just like and the audio's just playing in the background. Like, okay, this is it. I'm feeling patriotic today.
Go for it.
We'll see if I have the time. I don't know if I have enough energy for all that. I gotta watch the movie and find the speech. We'll see. But for those of you here in America, congratulations. Blow up some fireworks for me, but do not set anything on fire because I did not condone that. Anywho's Azzles, quick reminder, if all things went according to plan, this month's indie releases video should have dropped yesterday, talking about 15 upcoming indie games you can play this July. The start of July, pretty quiet, but once we hit the 11th, it's just banger after banger. So many good ones. Yeah. What's in there? Maybe Bo the Path of Teal Lotus, some Shim, maybe some Angerfoot, quite a few games on there, so be sure to go check that out over on youtube.com/CGDannyB, and don't forget to leave a like so you can feel special and make me feel special as well. Thank you. Much love. Man, Tofr, I'm excited for this month. There's I remember sitting there in May being like, there's so many games to play. And now I'm sitting here looking at July. I'm like, there's so many games to play. Like, I don't know if May holds a candle to July right now. And
I'm not sure either. Like, it's insane. I haven't even caught up to everything that I wanted to play back in May. And this month, there's just too many.
So freaking many.
Calm down, guys. Calm down.
Give us some time. Space it out. Give me something to play for Christmas. Yeah, I'll have to. Last year I wanted to make a video, I didn't get around to it, but this year I want to make a all the games I missed in 2024 video, because I had so many for 2023 and the video never got around to coming together. And by the time I worked on it, I'm like, oh, it's already March. It's too late to talk about last year. So I want to try and plan that early 2025 and be like, here's the 75 games I missed that I really need to get back to, but now it's 2025 and it's too late, so we'll never know. Wheel of shame.
I get that. I when I did still made TikToks, I made in my end of year awards, I had one award for the best games that I didn't get to play.
Yeah.
Because there's so many.
I know. Come this year, the Indie Awards are taking place from 6-1 and Vicarious PR. So I would love to do an episode where we look at those and kind of vote together and see what all the nominations are. And another one I have on the list of something I want to try is for the Game Award nominees. I'd love to do an episode where we replace all of the AAA nominees with indies. That I think that might be a brain percolating one where we have to make the full list of indies and be like, what counts as an action adventure? What's I don't know what we do. The sports category, I don't know how many. Is Beastie Balls coming out this year? Is that going to be out in time? I don't know. But no, I think it'd be a fun one. So look forward to that.
I'd love to do that.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. Podcast ideas. Now we've been talking. Timestamp. No, did it give me an error for the timestamp? I'm going to punch wall, Tofr. I'm going to punch a freaking wall. I'm going to punch a...
Don't punch a wall.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The dock broke. Now I got to do this. Delete it.
Oh, no.
The timestamps just won't make any sense. I got to add like 5 minutes each time. You know what? We rock with it. 5 minutes, we're good. Anyway, timestamp. Now... we've already been talking a little bit, but to break the ice today, remember, you can write into the show and tell us, nope, you can't tell us about anything. You can ask us questions, though, about gaming, content creation, life, etc., just like Kevin, aka Switch Hylian, did. Switch Hylian asks, what would you advise to indie devs on how to promote their games? Not a marketer, not the kind of guy I'd be like, oh, that's the smart thing you want to do for your trailer, it's this, that, and the other. But I think one of the most played out things I've seen in like any trailer, AAA, indie, whatever, is that like environmental, like quick cut thing where like camera's panning through the forest and then through the swamp and then through this crazy place. I think those shots are cool, but I think a lot of games start their trailers with that. And that doesn't give me any inclination of what the game is. So like, don't do that right away. Maybe put it in later. I know that was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, I get that. I wrote down a couple of things because I did study communications, so I should know some marketing, but I forgot most of it. So
Fair
here goes. Yeah, just be active on different social media. I've noticed that plenty of developers are still on Twitter, which is okay, but so many of them cannot be found on Instagram, for example.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why, because Instagram is far more visual.
Yep.
And I get it. It might be hard to like create videos or for Instagram all of the time, but I think it really is the place to be now.
Yeah, Instagram's a
that
fickle
and
one.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's great. I immediately jumped to, again, friend of the show, official V Sweet. I am myself. Go wish list, just keep running. He kills it on TikTok, and then of course using those shorts for YouTube Shorts and Reels. But he'll do like, not even dev diaries, but just like, as a developer, here's something that I deal with. And when I think about players, like, here's an accessibility option because the game is really fast, but what do I do for players who can't keep up? And like, he does all these short form videos that are really great, as I think showing things to other developers and how to like optimize your game in this way, as well as showing players like, by the way, this is in my game in case you weren't aware. I know that's a lot of effort. I know Swede loses sleep every night trying to put those things together. So like, it's a lot of effort, especially if when you're talking like small teams, even solo devs, that you got to put not only making the game, but content about it. But even if you can get in a swing of posting once or twice a week, I think that's a great way to like cover your game on social media.
Absolutely.
Never cycle that.
And there are excellent PR companies out there that want to support indies as well. So don't be afraid to reach out to those. That's another thing I wrote down.
Yep. I would say go talk to Pop Agenda. They fucking rock.
For example, yeah.
Not sponsored.
Another thing that I thought of was, don't be afraid to jump on hypes on socials. For example, on Twitter, there's been plenty of like, they're not memes, but they're like these templates going around. For example, this is my game, and these are 3 inspirations behind it.
Yes,
and you see plenty. You see plenty of indie developers jump on those, and it creates this community. And if you can use those to get like a foothold within that community, I think that might help.
Yeah, those are awesome. I love seeing those because the amount of games I've discovered through that is pretty great. Which reminded me of, I don't know if you follow. I don't follow. Hold up. You have a second account. Doggy Don't Care. Okay, sorry. I follow the dev, not Doggy Don't Care. Now I follow Doggy Don't Care.
Okay.
But I think it's Rotub, ROTUB on Twitter, and they are constantly posting like memes with the Doggy Don't Care character pasted over it. Like, just a quick one. Like, they put this one up the other day where it's Totoro, but they replaced Totoro with Doggy Don't Care. They kill it. If you can find the time to do like the memes and stuff, Nigel Thornberry has Doggy Don't Care. No, Doggy Don't Care. Oh no, it's a Family Guy one. Okay, you can't hear that one. I'll turn it off. But no, they do great work with the memes. And I think they just have like the mindset for creating awesome memes. I think it's a great place for them. So if that's another strat for like, ooh, what do I do for advertising my game? Make some damn memes, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Also make demos and let us play them during development.
Yes, those are great. Those are great. And I as someone who's not a developer, speaking like as the player, those demos are awesome, especially when you can just like a sample of it. I know Slider comes out later this month, and I still sit and linger on that demo that I played. That was like the whole first level. If you can even construct something that's playable, that's like meaty enough, then just have it out there on the Steam page. Now, maybe if any devs are out there that can like feedback and like, well, actually, it costs this much money to have a demo up, or like if you have a demo up for this song, like any behind the scenes info would be great. But outside looking in, yeah, having demos up is super beneficial, because then you get not only content creators who are checking out making content. I'll also reach out to content creators, at CGDannyB.ttv at gmail.com. Don't use the first at, but yeah, those are some good points, guys. Now all indie devs will succeed using our advice.
I guess so.
There won't be another indie that doesn't succeed when they're just like, actually, let's just do what Danny and Tofr said.
AAAs are done.
Dunzo. Bye. God of War, Zelda, ain't even heard of it. Damn, that's kind of scary. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, thank you guys. Kevin, thank you for writing in. I know you recently joined the Discord. Appreciate you. If you guys have any other questions like Kevin did, be sure to write in using the link in the description. Also, that's on Spotify, so in case you didn't see that, check it out. Timestamp. Now it's time for some quick indie news. Not a busy news week this week. However, we're going to start off with some excellent indies coming to Game Pass this July. Ooh, Tofr. We got some bangers. Now,
oh yeah,
I've said, if you have an Xbox or a PC, you should have Game Pass. Game Pass is awesome. I love Game Pass. Best deal in gaming by far. So, over here, I didn't get the note. This is from Eurogamer. Tom Phillips over at Eurogamer wrote this article. We're just going to show you the dope-ass picture because Game Pass said, check out these. To start, Cricket 24, my guy. Are you excited for Cricket?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Am I ever?
Yeah.
Like, cricket is just is almost as important to me as the 4th of July.
A little throwback. Okay, that might be a good TikTok. We come back like, you're all out about it. Oh, it's my favorite thing. We got it. No, obviously Cricket, whatever. If you're into Cricket, that's great. And then also on there is the Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, not indie, but the rest of this catalog, heaters, dog. So first off, they announced that Flock will be coming to Game Pass for console and PC. I don't know if you ever got to play the demo for that one, but it's a very,
I didn't know.
Ooh, dude, it's pretty. It's very like Flow Flower Journey type deal where you're less Journey, but more like Flow and Flower, where you're kind of like flowing around the world. You're riding on this bird and you're picking up all these little birds, but you kind of have to use your journal to be like, ooh, what's this one do? Oh, this one's got a big bill, but it doesn't have the spot, so it can't be this bird. Okay, so I need this one. And then you grab like 5 of them, take them back to the person who needs them. They join your flock. It's really pretty. I really enjoyed the demo for Flock.
Hey, sounds cool.
Yeah, banger. And they're also adding Journey to the Savage Planet, one of my like favorite games from 2021. That's just a goofy ass first person space adventure. Magical Delicacy coming out as well. It'll be on console and PC Game Pass. Neon White will be on console PC Game Pass. The Case of the Golden Idol one. I don't know if you played that one. Curse of the Golden Idol.
I started playing it, but I still have to finish it. But they have a sequel coming up, so it might be a good time to dive back into it.
Yeah. This is one that I think like I saw and like didn't quite like hit. Like I was like, I could pass on this one. And then I remember the whole world being like, this game rocks. I'm like, oh, well, shit, I got to get back to that. So haven't given it a shot yet, but now on Game Pass is a good place to go. And then to round that out, they are also adding Chia to the PC and then Xbox Series S and X catalog for Game Pass. So a bunch of indies coming to Game Pass in the near future. Be sure to check us out when they drop.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget that Dungeons of Hinterberg is going to be dropping as well.
It is, baby. Let's fucking go. Yeah, we'll do that one for a bit. But yeah, oh my God. That game's so soon. That game's so close. They put out a video on TikTok, on Twitter the other day, where one of the levels was super like Mario Galaxy like, where like it was like a cube planet that was kind of turning outside. And you're running down in this like isometric view. I'm like, oh man, This is gonna be lit. I'm so excited for that one.
Oh yeah.
On the busy day of July 18th.
Yep.
Bow Dungeon. Well, actually, no. Bow got moving forward today, but still, like, it's not gonna finish Bow in a day. But yeah, games crazy this month. Bam.
Absolutely.
And then next up, quick reminder, Steam summer sale is going on right now. If you didn't know, there's a bunch of games on sale, both AAA and indie, but we got some indies that you should check out. Now I plan to do a separate video on this in the coming days, so I'll put a little more effort into that. But Tofr, have you picked up or carded any games yet that you're looking forward to on Steam summer sale?
Well, I gifted my friend Daphne What Remains of Edith Finch.
Ooh, banger!
Which is less than $5 at the moment. So
that's a good deal.
That's a really good deal. And then I'll be picking up a couple of games like Imposter Factory.
Okay.
Which is by the same devs who created To the Moon.
Oh, right. Yes. I am familiar. I have to grab that too.
Yeah, it's less than $4 at the moment. So, yeah.
And then there's To the Moon so far. I have to play Finding Paradise. Is Imposter Factory the fourth one? That's the third one. Okay.
I think it's the third one.
Okay. Is there a fourth one? I think there's a fourth one. Popper Phantom, you're my guys for that. You have to tell me what else is in there. Okay, bet. But yeah, you say no things?
Yeah, I also want to get Pocket Oasis, which is a cozy gardening game that only released in May, but it's already 40% off.
Okay. Good deals.
Yeah. And then Synergy, which is this really great-looking city builder that only released in May, is in a bundle with Lazara Summit Kingdom, which released in April. Yeah. And the bundle is 36% off. So
that's good. Yeah, Lazara's cool. I didn't get to play that one at PAX, but I saw people playing it at PAX. It's like a time loop type fighting thing. That one's really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my list.
Bet. I have to go through my wish list of 737 games to see what all's on sale. But at a quick glance, I see Space for the Unbound is on sale for 40% off. That's $12, so I got to grab that one. Maybe some coverage in the near future. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You know what I'm talking about? Also, Savant Ascent Remix is on sale. That's from the guys who made Owlboy. And their original game was Savant, but they remade it with all the pixels that Owlboy has. And it looks great. Plus, you can play as Owlboy and I think Alphonse. You might be able to play as Getty. I forget. But you can play as some of the Owlboy characters in Savant now. So I want to pick that one up. And they also have Find Together on stream in my cart. I think it'll be a fun stream game. It's like, imagine like the bingo ball where like all the little balls are bouncing around and everything, but you see the letters on screen. I think chat can like type like, ooh, there's a B, there's an A, the bay, and they like can spell the words out. So chat works together to find all the words on the screen. It looks cute. It's like $2. So I figure I'll grab that one too.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. But even just a quick peep, Celeste is $2.
$2. Good Lord.
Like if that is, if I could explain how much of a steal, a burglar, you're robbing the planet by getting Celeste for $2. If you don't pick up Celeste for $2, you're losing your ever-loving mind. That's a steal. Normally $20. $2 for Celeste is ridiculous.
Yeah, buy it full price.
That too.
Support your devs.
Yeah, buy it on Steam for $2, and then go buy it on Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation for full price.
Exactly.
Get their money's worth. But yeah, I know I want to go through I'm going to pop my wish list. Anything else on here? Anything? Fire Girl is $4. That's a Metroidvania, I believe. Checkmate Showdown's $5. It's like you play chess, and then when they go to capture each other, it turns into a fighting game, and you have to beat each other up to capture the piece.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's what I missed. I could be wrong. I want to say I remember seeing that for Game Pass, but I think I'm completely wrong on that. Oh shit, I'm seeing all these discount. 69%. Omegabot, 69% off. You just got to do it just for that discount. Nice. Yeah, there's some bangers. Go through the Steam library, check them out, see what's all on there. Nocturnal. I can sit here all day and just read my wish list, so I won't do that now. But like I said, I'm planning on working on a video here in the future. I kind of go through my wish list, see what's on sale, maybe do like, oh, this game's really cool. You should check it out. I'll definitely mention Celeste for $2.
You should.
Yeah. But yeah, Steam Summer Sale. Please go grab some games and play them. Let us know what you're playing. Now, next up, we got a fun little announcement here for indie news. So, One of the goals we had here on the podcast was to do like a book club type deal where we got to play either games we hadn't played before, replay old games, maybe a sequel's coming out, so you want to play the original type deal. So this month in July, we want to do our first Playlog book club. And Tofr, do you want to tell them what game that is we're playing?
We're going to be playing Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
Which is one of the best indies ever made.
We've talked about it a couple times. It's been on my list of shame. I haven't played it. You love it. So the goal is to, throughout the month, play it. Right now on Steam, it's on sale for $9.99. It's 50% off. So if you want to grab it there, you can get it for a major sale. But it's also available on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and it's available on iOS. I think it's like $20 on each console, and then it's like $5 on iPhone, I think. I did check, not on Android, so that's kind of stinky. But all the platforms, you have any of the consoles or Steam, you can check it out. I think the plan is we're going to play through it, and then the episode will drop on the 25th, but we'll do a live recording on the 23rd. So by the 23rd, we'll have the updated version of the forum where it'll be like, what are your thoughts on Night in the Woods? You guys can write in. There'll be a paragraph section. Don't feel like one sentence is too much. You could type a paragraph, a novel. We might have to condense it for the length of the episode, but I would want you to write in with your thoughts, how the game made you feel, story beats, etc. I'll be going for the first time, so I'm excited to talk about what I get out of it. So yeah, by the 23rd, if you want to write in, and we'll remind you each week as we go. The 23rd, we'll be streaming over on twitch.tv/CGDannyB, doing a live episode of the podcast. And if you can't make it, the episode will then go up on YouTube on the typical Thursday afternoon upload. So, any other thoughts on that, Tofr? You excited for Night in the Woods?
I am always excited for Night in the Woods. Like, I have one of the songs from the game as my ringtone on my phone.
Okay.
Because I love it. And Greg is cool. And you don't know what that means yet, but you will understand.
We'll find out. Yeah, that's like my second homework assignment for this month, where I have to be like, okay, so I got to play this one. I got to play this one. So some of those, I got to try and do those before all these new games come out because, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But no, I'm very excited. Again, Night in the Woods has just been one that I've had on PlayStation for so long and just haven't touched yet. I know everybody loves it. I'm ready to sit and play it. So I'm excited to talk with you about it, someone who's loved it for so long, and then see if anyone else gets their first time playing it, if they replay it, be like, oh, I haven't played in so long. So take that opportunity to go play some Night in the Woods, and we'll talk about it together on the 23rd/25th. So
yeah, and the cool thing is it only takes about 10 hours to finish.
Not bad, not bad.
So you can play it in between all of the other indies releasing this month.
True that. I'm thinking it's gonna be my like chillax bed. Like I'm chilling in bed. I have the PS4 version. Ooh, so I could like upload my save and do it like here at the desk and then go play upstairs in bed. Ooh, okay. Now I'm thinking. Nice. I'm planning this out. But hell yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. And then obviously this is the first time we're doing it, so we're gonna work around and see like what worked, what didn't work. We talked about having like a Discord channel type thing where people could put all their thoughts on Night in the Woods for the book club. So we'll try using that format. We'll do like an Instagram story like, hey, the thing's tomorrow. So there'll be a lot of spaces where we're referencing Night in the Woods, and we'll see how it goes from there. And then next month, see if we find another game to do, plan it out that way. But we want to have that opportunity for you guys to both be able to play along with us, know what we're playing, and then be a part of the discussion come review time. So there's an opportunity if you guys want to check out the game with us. So Night in the Woods. Look forward to it. But that's it for quick indie news. Tofr, it's time for the topic of the show.
Oh yeah.
And before we do that, I gotta sip some Gatorade out of my mug. I was gonna suspend disbelief, but we didn't have any of the sugarless hot chocolate today, so I'm like, can't be doing that. Diabetes, gotta keep it down. So we got that Gatorade Zero. So
okay,
good times. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the topic of the show. But one thing I want to talk about for a while is one of the first ideas that we kind of came up with for the show. But I wanted to talk about the hype behind Silksong and if it's going to be able to live up to it. Mm-hmm. You and I both know, and most people on the internet know, that HollowKnight Silksong, which was, well, actually, let me give the backstory quick. So It was initially a stretch goal for the original HollowKnight, which released back in 2017 over on Kickstarter. At a certain milestone, they were like, we'll make an expansion where you can play as a second character, and you'll get to experience the game in their shoes. Eventually, as they started working on it, they realized Hornet, twice the size of HollowKnight, so it's like, oh, that's not going to be able to fit in the map. So they started as a whole separate expansion, which eventually just evolved into like a full game. So it's been delayed, not delayed, but like been worked on for years and years. We got the official reveal of Silksong back in 2019 at, I believe it was a Nintendo Direct. Might be wrong about that one. After that, it showed up again at the Xbox Bethesda showcase in 2022. This is in that weird spot where during that showcase, Phil Spencer said everything here will be out within the next 12 months. Well, obviously, since the showcase was in 2022, it has not come out yet. So that was a lie. But there was a back and forth. There was like an actual image of the games coming out, and Hollow Knight wasn't on there, but technically it was in the showcase, so blah, 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 people fight. However, in a video that I was watching this afternoon, preparing for the podcast, over on HTWO, I don't know if it's H2, I don't know how you say it, I apologize, but they had a video talking about Silksong. We're back in 2018, one of the developers, Ari Gibson, said, I quote, we aim to make a very small game, a small Metroidvania, and then we had enough energy, enough budget, and we're enjoying it enough to allow it to expand. But at any time, we could have stopped the development, packaged it up, and it completed the game. So this game seems like it could have been done, it could have been out, and we don't see a lot of like the behind the scenes, what's going on with it. So we don't know what the current state of the game is. But based on this conversation, it sounds like it could easily just been put out. You're like, the game is done, enjoy Silksong, but they obviously want to put more into it. Before we get into more of the nitty gritty, what are you thinking on Silksong right now? As far as this like delayed hype cycle, will it live up? Do you think people will like enjoy this game as much as the internet makes it sound like they will?
I'm a bit worried for the developers because it kind of feels like it's becoming impossible to match up to the hype.
Yeah.
The hype levels are so high right now. And it makes me wonder, like, who are the developers going to cater to? Because there's a large group of people who are interested in this game now. Yeah. There's going to be the people who have been into Hollow Knight from the beginning. There's going to be people who who picked it up later. There's going to be people who have never played Hollow Knight but have heard this hype about Silksong and are like wanting to play that one instead. You have to cater to a very large group of people, and I think it's not possible to make them all happy.
Right. Yeah. Saying that, like, I've thought about the amount of people that see this game or hear everybody gassing it up, or seeing like the Hollow Knight clown meme where it's like, no announcement today, we were clowns for thinking so. And how many people are like, ooh, this looks like a fun 2D platformer with combat. And how many people are going in not knowing or understanding that it's a Metroidvania, and they're like, I have to keep exploring. What is this? I thought, and like they think it's just going to be run to the right, smack the things, and keep going, right? And how many people are going to get disappointed with it's not a type of game that they're interested in, but not because they think they're going to like the game because it looks like a Metroidvania. It's they think they're going to like the game because everyone else thinks they're going to like the game. I, in my gut, think I'm going to like Silksong. I need to go back and finish Hollow Knight, which, you know, we'll talk about a future book club at some point. But like, I really want Silksong to succeed. I think it will succeed, but I can see those YouTube comments, those Twitter posts about just like, man, this game's mid. It's not what it should have been. I can't believe they took so long to put this game out. And that comes out with any game. That's just the case. I'm just hoping that's like a vocal minority and the rest of the world's like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. If I could see the IGN 10 out of 10 for Silksong, I'd be pretty happy with that. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why they're keeping so quiet about the game. Especially when you look at that quote saying that the game could have been finished already. If they chose to like have it finished, then why not show something just to appease like the ever expanding fan base? I get that they maybe they want it to be like in a state where they feel ready to show it.
Sure.
But I feel like it's not helping them right now to keep quiet.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Where I sit and think about, we were talking about marketing and putting on TikTok and social media and posting all your stuff. And I think of pages like Cult of the Lamb, and I think of pages like Another Crab's Treasure, who are constantly posting memes and putting out clips of their game, and like, we added this part to the game, are you excited? I don't know if Hollow Knight Silksong is that type of game. I don't think it's with Aggro Crab and then Tiny Monster, Massive Monster, Massive Mini Monster, whatever. Call to the Lamb. They have very meme-like things in their game that they can post and be like, oh, we're not showing the game clip directly, but we're telling you, like, here's a funny thing in the game that will get people hyped. I think with Silksong, it's a very, like, built narrative, like threads of you're starting the game, you're getting to this part, you're beating the boss. And I'm wondering how much of that they want to just be the surprise, how much they want the game to speak for itself when it's out. Because I know Hollow Knight proper, I can't remember the release. I remember I found out about it well after it was out, but it had its shadow drop on Switch. And I think that's when I started hearing everyone talk about it. This game just came out, everyone picked it up on their Switch, and they loved it even more than they did on Steam. And I think that people be able to just jump in and experience it was like a big thing for Hollow Knight. And I think they want to be able to do that with Silksong as well. I just don't know if now that people know it exists and they're like, I can expect this, that, and the other from the bosses, are like, how patient they can be to just be like, I can wait. I can linger until I see the story tell itself. But yeah, there's definitely people who are, again, as we see every single showcase, whether it's indie, AAA, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, the live stream comments are filled with Silksong's going to be here. Silksong's going to be here. No Silksong. And even that brings me to like how much, like how shitty it has to be any indie dev in any showcase when you're excited to show your game for the first time. People be like, yes, oh, the world's going to get to see our game. And then you're overshadowed because everyone's thinking about Silksong not being at your showcase. Be like, this game isn't Silksong. No, I'm angry. Like, that can't feel great. I haven't heard any devs speak about it specifically, but it's, I want the game to come out for the sole purpose of, I want other indie devs to not have to see the, oh, no Silksong, no, terrible showcase. But all these cool games got announced. Like, pay attention to those too.
Yeah. It's taking the spotlight away of games that really deserve that spotlight. It reminds me of like when Hades 2 dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, right right at the start of May when May was so packed.
Damn you, Supergiant.
Yeah. But I mentioned Hades 2 because there's something else that I wanted to mention here.
Yeah.
What are people going to expect from Silksong? Are they going to expect the same exact gameplay as the original? Or are they going to expect something that has evolved a bit, like Hades 2 has in comparison to that original? What percentage is hoping for the same gameplay, and what percentage of people wants that natural evolution? That's going to be an interesting discussion, I think.
Yeah, if I had to think for myself, right, I want what I got for Hades, where I want the same base gameplay, but I want the character to feel different. And like in a spot where, of course, Hades 2 is the new one. It feels better. It's got more polish. They've already experienced it. They know how to improve on it. Like, I 10 times out of 10 prefer Melanoi's gameplay to Zagreus's. Like, that being said, I love Zagreus as a character more. I love how snarky he is and everything. But even as I look at Hades 1 is installed on my PlayStation 4 upstairs, and I want to launch that and get the platinum, but I'm like, Zagreus is not going to feel like Melanoid. Like this, I'm not ready to feel that. If anything, if I can jump into Silksong and be like, this is a new world. It's the same gameplay. It feels just like Hollow Knight, but I have a brand new kit. I have all these string and needle type movesets with Hornet and doing all this cool stuff. That's what I want. And that's what I like to imagine the rest of the world wants, is they want more Hollow Knight that still feels different. Yeah. Again, I jump back to those, like, how many people understand or can wrap their head around a Metroidvania. And maybe it's because I almost see it as like a Switch game. I know it's coming to like everything, but it's got that, like, I see that red Nintendo logo when I think about Silksong. And with that red Nintendo logo, I think about how many kids are there and how many kids are like, Mom, I love Mario and all my friends are playing Silksong. Can I play? And then they don't realize how brutal and hard these games could be, or like they won't understand the exploration, or they won't understand I have to go buy the map from the Bumpanada, the unexplicably thick unexplicably thick bug in the little hut that like is all over the internet. But like, I wonder how many people will go in and just not be prepared for what the game is, and they're only like jumping on the hype train because the whole world is.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, everyone's just like, this is awesome. This is perfect. I love Metroidvanias now. I just that can't be a possibility. People.
Well, it's funny that you think it's that you think of Silksong as a Switch game, because like Xbox really wants you to think it's their game.
Right. No, 100%. They do. And like, I would definitely say I see it as an Xbox game second, especially because that's where but I think it's because that's where they saw it second, right? We had our first trailer with, again, what I think was at a Nintendo Direct. And maybe that's me confusing it with that I played Hollow Knight for the first time on my Switch. So in my head, Hollow Knight is a Switch game. that I will then play the next one on either my PlayStation or on Steam, depending how that release rolls out. Because I was like, I found my Switch the other day. I haven't touched my Switch in so long because I have the Steam Deck now. But I definitely see it as also like an Xbox property of sorts, where like they were showing it off. Here's a trailer. The 12 months from now it'll be out, but it wasn't. I think because it was at that showcase, it should also be on Game Pass. So it'll be launching on Game Pass. So that's another big window for people to get into it. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Like, this is one of those cases of an indie that is so damn big. Like, everybody knows about Silksong. Everybody's heard about Silksong, and you just maybe don't remember it. You see Horn, you're like, oh yeah, my friend was talking about this one. Like, it's gigantic. And like, it gives me Helldiver vibes when that game came out and it exploded more than people could have expected it to. I don't think that's not expected for Silksong. I think people are prepared for it to outsell. But I think there's such a weight of excitement and anticipation for it that I can see Team Cherry being like, ooh, maybe if we just don't show anything and put it out when it's done, like, it's less stressful in the build up, and then all the stress is post launch.
I kind of hope that they don't just shadow drop it, because that's gonna ruin so many other games release windows.
Yeah. I could totally see the shadow drop, right? I also don't want it. I don't want the shadow drop. I want to know when that game comes out. I want to be a part of the zeitgeist. I want everyone to be excited for the same time. But the amount of times something shadow dropped, like Hades 2, going back to that, I was out to brunch with my dad, and we're like talking about whatever. My phone rings, and I get the notification of like Hades 2 available now. I'm like, no, it's fucking not. No, it's. Damn it, Dad, can we go home? Like, it was wild because this game just dropped out of nowhere. And I know that's how they did it with Switch. I didn't know about Silksong till well after it was out initially. So I don't know what like the build up release schedule was like. If anyone out there was a part of the world then, when HollowKnight proper was coming out, I'd love to know what like that felt like. But yeah, I remember the shadow drop on Switch, and that's when I picked it up. And I could see them being like, all right, guys, you waited long enough. Available today. But I think a hype package of build-up seems more like the proper speed for the sequel. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about the Switch as well, that raises another interesting question. Will it still release on Switch, or will it be for the follow-up?
Man, I don't know, right? Because Switch is such a weird thing where... let me correct. Nintendo is such a weird thing because they make these weird Nintendo decisions of like, sometimes backwards compatible, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we use the same cartridges, sometimes we upgrade them. So like, in the back of my head, and I want to say I know it won't happen, but I can still see it, is we went from DS to 3DS, and all the 3DSs did was change the color and add a little knob on the top. If I get a Switch game that has a little knob on the top, because they're like, it's a new game, but I could still put my regular Switch games into the Switch 2 and play those, I think that's ideal. I want that backwards compatibility. I know someone in chat called me up today. I said Switch, you're like, that's not what they're calling it, are they? I'm like, maybe. We don't know for a fact. That's what everyone calls it for the safety of not knowing what it's going to be called. But I'm still envisioning a portable thing with the removable controllers. If it is the same formula, the same platform, the same console, just like version 2.0, I would see them just releasing Silksong on the eShop. It's out. It's here. You can play it on your Switch or your Switch 2 and have a good time with it either way. It'll just run better. It'll look prettier. It'll do whatever on the Switch 2 than it would on the Switch. But for all we know, they could bring out a freaking box, like a GameCube that has a screen on the front. And you're like, this is the Switch 2, baby. Like, Nintendo's weird. They can do anything.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. Now I know we talked about Hollow Knight a couple times. I think we both were at the spot where, like, we never finished it because it I got stuck at a certain spot or whatever. Does that like concern you at all with Silksong? Are you like a different gamer now that you're like, oh, I've played so many new games, I think I can handle Silksong now? Like, where you think you're at with it?
I'm still gonna struggle. Like, Metroidvanias are not my jam usually. But the thing with Hollow Knight is it's so gorgeous, and I've heard so many people mention how truly special the story is that I really want to try and power through. I just need to, I'm gonna need walkthroughs. And I need to allow myself to use those walkthroughs.
Yeah. I tried to use a walkthrough for the first Hollow Knight, and it's the part where I fell off, but I've sold so many times. There's an elevator in Hollow Knight where you have to go down, but you have to come in from the left side because the right side is locked. So if you go from the left side and pull the lever, then you could activate it and go down. For the life of me, I could not figure out how to come in from the left side. I tried breaking walls. I tried beating bosses. The amount of secret bosses I found trying to find the entrance was absurd. Where I'm like, I don't know how to get to this elevator. And by then I was like, let me try something else to come back to it. And they just never came back to it. So like, I'm ready. I've bought the collector's edition of Hollow Knight now. It comes with a little like pendant and stuff. Like I own it on PlayStation, physical and digital. And I think in my gut, I've said when we announce a date for Silksong, I will jump back into Hollow Knight, finish that, and then be prepared for the new one.
Okay.
And then the idea of this shadow drop scares me a little bit, where I'm like, ooh, if it just drops one day and I don't have the time to get back into Hollow Knight proper, like, will I ever finish Hollow Knight? Will I jump right into Silksong? So maybe Hollow Knight should be our August book club. We'll see about that.
We could do that.
We'll see. We'll talk it out. We'll let you guys hear about the first one and work with that. But yeah, Hollow Knight. Just it's a bundle of mysteries, and I want like answers. I want to know that it's gonna be okay, you know?
It would be cool to just like get something, anything, because now it's the hype is like the game is taking on mythical proportions.
Yeah,
and that's never a good thing.
Right.
It's like when they announced the Star Wars sequels, they were never gonna live up to like the hype that was there. They tried their best, but it was impossible because the hype was just so out there.
So that's an interesting comparison, right? Because I am a late bloomer to Star Wars. Star Wars is not my IP. I've seen the movies. I'm not really there for it. Space, weird anomaly for me. But I hadn't watched Star Wars till I was in college, where my roommate was like, episode 7's coming out. We're going to watch all 6 movies so you can see them. And I was like, these are fine. Like the Luke, I'm your father. I know it's not the quote, relax. It's proper nomenclature. But like just seeing all those like memorable moments that I've seen people talk about, I'm like, okay, I get it. But like, I'm a little less whatever. But then we went to go see episode 7 and I was gassed. I'm like, this was my first Star Wars. And I'm like, fuck, this is really cool. I'm digging episode 7. I think as a whole, people were like a little more positive than negative, but still kind of lukewarm compared to like the original trilogy. And then people hated 8 and 9, I think everyone just universally hated both of those. I didn't love them either, but like to this point where I'm like, my favorite's episode 7. I really dug 7. And I think that's maybe there's in part where people are just like, I hate female main character. I'm like, I love her. Get fucked. You know, like, I don't know. But to translate that to Silksong, I'm interested now because we talked about the people who like either haven't played Hollow Knight or are ready to play Silksong because of the hype. Like how many people will jump into Silksong as their first Hollow Knight experience and be like, oh, I love this. This is really cool. Which is like a really interesting thought to me now because I didn't really think about anyone jumping into Silksong without playing Hollow Knight. So like,
it just feels like there's so many people waiting for Silksong, and I just don't know if that many people played the original.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be a stat out there. Like someone has the like how many people have played Silks or Hollow Knight proper, or at least how many people bought it. I'm sure there's sale numbers for sure. But I know it's also been included in like Humble. I think Silksong was, or a Hollow Knight original was or is on Game Pass or like PlayStation Plus or has been free at some point. I know everybody got the whatever like deluxe edition was that came with the DLC. I know it was on PlayStation Plus. That's how I own it. But I'm sure people have access to it in their back pocket to some degree, and maybe just haven't played it yet, or it's been like old game is old. I'm playing whatever I'm playing right now, and like I'll hop into it eventually. So. Also found out I wasn't following Team Cherry on Twitter, so I fixed that. But they also tweeted out about they tweeted in June the little Nendoroids of Hornet, and it's really cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
Look at it. Oh, and little bug, I want it. Oh, that's so cute.
Now give us the game.
Yes, give us the game. Ooh, that's a dope ass picture. I know I have... Oh, where's he at? Hold on. Come here, buddy. Let me show you the world. I'd gotten this one recently at like a local game store, like closing out sale. But it's like the shade and he like... I don't know if he's singing through the mic, but he's so cool. I love this dude. All right, your song's too long. Be quiet. Shh. Stay back there. But yeah, no, it's just a popular IP that I think like prior to actually like seeing how it's going to roll out, I think everyone's excited. I think everyone thinks they're going to love it. And I'm sure many people will. I'm just wondering if it's like Half-Life 3 level right now, where Valve's like, we're not going to make 3 because the expectation is too great. Like if we would make 3, nobody would enjoy it like they think they're going to, because there's like, it's going to be the perfect thing in the world. It's going to be this, that, and the other. And I'm sure people do think this is going to be the best game in the world, and like the hype building up to it, everyone's going to love it. But will expectation meet reality, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure
that's what I was trying to say. Like, how do you match up to like the perfect game?
Yeah. And we all know that's Cuphead, so like, how can you match up? There's nothing more perfect than Cuphead.
Sure,
so.
Cuphead.
Fucking Cuphead. But like totally unrelated, but there's a new deluxe edition coming out of like the original Shovel Knight campaign. It's gonna have all the accessibility options, customizable modes. I think you can play as like every freaking character in the game.
Nice.
We got a new way for you to play Shovel Knight finally. So remember when that comes
forget
out.
Cuphead. Forget Cuphead.
Hey, whoa. The blasphemy is insane. Whoa. We're not forgetting Cuphead. But when we get a deluxe edition of Cuphead, I'll probably buy that too. Well, I think we already have that, but. Oh, man. Any other thoughts on Silksong prior to that one maybe coming out this year?
I hope it's not coming out this summer. Because I have too many games lined up already.
Please not this summer. If that could be the perfect stocking stuffer, if I could get Silksong to drop, I mean, I'm sure I'll get it digital, so maybe not a stocking stuffer, but you get the point. If that could be like a great Christmas break holiday type deal game, I think I'd be lit. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be.
Go Silksong. Listen, what you guys are thinking of Silksong in the comments. You guys excited for it? Do you think it's going to hold up to the hype? What do you think? Did we miss any important notes from developers, Twitters, et cetera, about this game's release? And how much gas is there going to be behind this release? Timestamp. Now let's hop into what we've been playing. What do you want to do here, Tofr? You want me to go first? You want to talk about a game first?
I would like you to go first, because that first game you've got lined up.
Yeah,
something special. Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm really enjoying this one. So I've been playing Spilled, which we talked about. It wasn't last week, maybe the week before. But it is I didn't capture any footage for this one, so I have to pull it up. But it's a small indie game. It is made by one person, I believe, Lena. I apologize. Lenta. There we go.
Lenta.
She, I think, dropped out of school, moved into a boat, and made this indie game all by herself. But you were essentially just playing as like a little tugboat, and you're cleaning up the water. It's really simple. It's a little bit slower at first. When I jumped in, I was like, I expected to go a little bit faster. But really all you're doing is you're sailing around a small area. You're scooping up this oil. You're moving it to this giant truck that like recycles it. And then you take that money you get from recycling the oil and turn it into upgrades. You can expand like this giant claw, which you use to pick up debris. You end up getting like a hose. You can clean oil off the side of rocks and walls. You can increase your speed. You can increase the capacity of oil you can carry. I think Steam said I played like 0.7 hours of it last night.
Nice.
And it's chill. It's super relaxing. All you really do is just sail around, pick up stuff. There'll be like little animals floating in the oil. And you save them, you add them to collectibles. It doesn't really do anything. I just have like a list of animals, a goose, a snake, a mouse or something that I save from oil, a turtle, a frog. And then as you turn it all in, get the money, upgrade your ship, you go a little bit faster. Okay, that's good. I pick up more oil as I go through. There'll be like trash in the water, and the giant claw will help you like carry it over better. Instead of having to make like multiple trips, you just have just one big old claw and shove it over. I should say I did receive an early access key for the demo, which I should have said up front, but now I've said it. But it's really cute. I'm loving it a lot so far. I don't know how big it's going to be. I think I've already done like, I'd have to say like 6 or 7 levels in the demo. And I didn't check. Is it a public demo? Did I get a private demo? There's a demo on Steam. So I assume I'm just playing the demo that's available on Steam now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm digging it.
There is a new demo going to be released next week.
Okay.
Or maybe even this week. I'm not sure.
Got it.
Because of the success of the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
She actually has someone else working on the game with her.
Right.
And there's going to be a major visual update to the demo.
That reminds me. I don't know. I not seeing it side by side. I wasn't really sure. Spilled visual update. I'm not sure if I am playing the old art style or if I'm playing the new art style. I haven't checked. Let me see if I pull up here. Mute the yub tubs. I said mute. Okay, he yelled at me. Ooh, I don't know. Oh god, it's chugging. YouTube, calm down. it's imploding. Too many graphics.
Oh no. Too many streams.
I think I'm playing the old one. If I'm looking side by side, I'm pretty sure I'm playing the old one. Yeah. So the demo I'm playing is the old art style because now I'm looking outside. I think I'm playing the old one. But regardless, it's like still super pretty. It's got this like voxel's too far. It's got that like pixelated 3D model deal, like almost a short hike type vibe in the model work. It's fun. It's relaxing. Last night, I'm going to bed. I got a meeting in the morning. Then we got to record the podcast. And then I took some melatonin. And before going to bed, I'm like, I'll play a little bit of this. And I remember powering through the melatonin. I'm like, I'm so tired. But I have to get the oil. I have to get more. I have to save it. It's really fun. It's really cool. I'm excited for the full release. I don't know. It seems like each section of the water you hit, you get a new upgrade, whether that's the claw to pick up the debris, the hose, so you're washing water off of stuff. Eventually you get like a hook where like you're finding treasure underwater, so you drop it and pick it up and turn that in for more money. Each one of these areas I've gotten a new upgrade so far. So I don't know if there's a point where like the ship is upgraded. You got everything. Now you're just cleaning bigger areas, or like how that continues to evolve. But I'm excited to see what that evolves into, how much more I can clean up and do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I played this demo a couple of months ago, and I don't think I've ever played a game with as satisfying a gameplay loop as this.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Let me see here. I think it's all I got on Spilled. Timestamp. Okay. Which one do you want to talk about? You got two games here. I'm not familiar with the first one, but which one do you want to talk about?
I'm gonna do them in order. So first up is Cosmo Pirates.
Okay.
Cosmo Pirates is a roguelike deck builder, but in space. It comes to us from developer Black Moon Design, and it's a fun take on a genre that's still being dominated by Slay the Spire mostly.
Yeah.
And this one, you get to fly around your spaceship looking for fights, adventures, and treasure. It gives you a bit more freedom than like, and in Slay the Spire you have like these paths that you can choose. Here you get to fly around and decide what order you want to tackle the fights, tackle other things that you can encounter. The areas are all procedurally generated as well.
Good deal.
So you're never gonna play the same map twice. The actual card battles also have like their own spin on things, because as you can see if you're looking on YouTube, watching on YouTube, sorry.
Same guys.
You're fighting basically as a spaceship against another spaceship, but the crew from each spaceship is involved as well. There's two ways to win each battle. Either you destroy the enemy spaceship, or you kill all of the crew on board. And I think a neat twist that allows for like gameplay to be a bit more versatile.
Yeah.
I think. The game is like a cartoonish comedy take on the roguelike deck builder genre, and its humor will work on you or it won't. It's not. It didn't really do all that much for me.
Okay.
But I didn't mind it either. Like sure. I was just hooked on the gameplay loop. The only thing that I did read up on was that some people were complaining that you can finish it way too quickly.
And this game's out. It's not early access. Is it like out or?
I think it's. Okay. Let me check. Cosmo Pirates.
Yeah, but throw it completely out there.
It's not an early access. It's a full release.
Got it.
And I think people mentioned that it took them like 6 hours to complete.
Got it.
And that the replayability isn't all that big. So
I always ponder, right? Because like I have my buddy Kanai, Dwarven Lion. Check him out on Twitch. He's playing Sea of Stars right now. We love it. But he is like usually the roguelike nut. I'll remember when our buddy Connor started playing, and then he picked up Hades. Kanai was like, "Oh, I beat it in like this many runs." Like Kanai will tend to like power through a roguelike or like perform the best at it. So I'm wondering how many of those complaints are like someone who is, I'm the roguelike nut. I knew exactly what to do. I recognize this pattern from this game, so I knocked it out real quick. And like if that replayability or that longevity of the game is dependent on your skill, which I'm sure typically in a roguelike fashion it would be, but for like, they'll say the average gamer who's not going to knock it out in a night, how long it would take them. So always my first thought when like, I beat the roguelike too fast.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, it only costs about 10 quid.
Okay.
So it's not going to take a huge bite out of your budget. And I do think it's like worth the investment.
Okay. Bet. It looks fun. You mentioned like you could go after like the ship or the crew. Have you found like one where the other is like better? Is it easier to go for the crew? Because I see they're like 2 members are like 10 health each, and the ship was like, I think it was like 60 or something like that. Have you found like a pattern for yourself? Is there like a benefit to doing one over the other?
It depends on the enemy you're facing.
Okay.
Sometimes you have like a ship that only has like 26 HP, and then the crew has like 200.
Oh, Jesus.
And then you have the opposite as well. So it really depends on who you're encountering.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is cool though. Jeez,
I like the visuals. It has like these really striking colors.
Yeah.
And this cartoony vibe that maybe isn't for everyone, but I liked it. It's got like
grunge to it a little bit, which normally not my thing. I can't say I love the art style, but like specifically the characters. I think like the ships, the space, the background looks good. But like if you're watching the YouTube version, like the player character is just like, yeah, what you got there, Shani? Like he's got like his teeth missing and stuff. Like that, not really my art style choice, but I do like the HUD and everything else.
Yeah, I think the characters are my least favorite part of it as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like detract from the gameplay.
Yeah. It's cool again. This looks fun. One of these days I'll sink my teeth into Slay the Spire eventually. Someone's blowing up my phone. I'm gonna make sure it's not important. Bet not important. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, bet. Cosmo Pirates. You said, hold on. It's funny, right? You said Quid, and for the longest time, I always thought Quid was just like a funny. No, totally fine, totally fine. I remember I brought up on chat that someone said Quid. I'm like, that's like a funny, haha, fake money word, right? Like I always remember hearing Gavin Free on Achievement Hunter be like, "Oh, that's 20 quid," and I'm like, "Oh, it's like the fake number." Like you just say like, "Oh, it's $20." Like I'm like, "No, quid's an actual currency." I'm like, "No shit." I always thought it was just like funny, haha. We're like, "Oh, instead of saying dollars, we say quid." Like $20.
No, it's
20.
Quid is like pounds, British pounds.
Damn, quid.
Yeah.
It's not real. That's a fake word. You can't tell me different.
I meant to say bucks, but
either way, no. I put it together. I assume the conversion rate was at least close, if not identical. But I was just like, ooh, the fake money word's back. The freaking quid. Oh, lordy.
What else have you been playing?
Great question. Let me pull it up here. Should I talk about the new game or the old game first? I should talk about the new game first. Let me find the VOD. So, this past week on Game Pass, we had a new game release called Still Wakes the Deep. I was super frustrated getting into this game because it looks really great. The game looks awesome. I am loving it so far. I always forget the word, thalassophobia. I'm afraid of the ocean. That's the point.
Ooh.
Water is and like it's so weird because I love water. I love seeing those fun Australian videos of the coral reefs. I'm like, oh, that's look at little guys swimming around. Those are awesome. But then you've got like the 90% of the ocean that we've never seen with Cthulhu and everything else down there, whatever other crazy monsters. I don't love it. Yeah. I don't believe in it. It's petrifying to me. The thought of when the whole thing with the rich people going in the submarine, I'm like, I could never. And then the fact that how that went, Even more, I could never. Nah, too much scary stuff underwater. But I was like, you know what? I got to play the horror game about going underwater. Essentially, you were on a Scottish oil rig. I think, Scottish oil rig, yeah. And you're playing this guy. You left your family to go make some money for him. Dangerous job. You're getting paid super well. However, like on your first day, you get like fired for reasons because the boss is an asshole. But then like everything goes to shit. Some giant sea monster like attacks the oil rig. And you're seeing like everybody start to die. People are getting attacked. People are getting like wrapped up and eaten by some giant, maybe squid thing. Sometimes like these gelatinous blob type deals, but they'll take over some of the people on the ship. And now you have to like, oh, that's my friend, but he's a monster now. I have to like, I can't trust him. He's going to kill me.
Damn.
Early enough in the game, I was scared enough of the water because there were a lot of moments you had to like crawl outside of the oil rig. Like you had to, the character gets down on all fours and like crawls across a beam with the water splashing everything underneath him. Like my heart was pounding. Now, I don't think as a whole it is the scariest thing in the world. I don't think horror enthusiasts are going to be like, oh my God, I'm petrified. If you hate the water like I do, very scary. Chat was trying to play sound alerts while I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is not the time. This is the worst possible time to do this. But I'm really into it so far. We probably put about 3 hours in on the day of recording this podcast going up. I mean, we're playing more on stream tonight over on twitch.tv/CGDannyB. But there's chase scenes, there's puzzle solving, there's exploring like deeper parts of the stuff. You're hearing all the bangs, clangs, and people attacking. Like, please stop. Sorry about the footage. I'm like scrubbing through my stream of it, and I keep getting like dead spots where I'm reading chat or something. As far as my experience has gone so far, I haven't had a lot of bugs or anything. There was one particular spot where I couldn't tell at first if I had gone the wrong way or whatever, but there's one of the people on the ship gets, contaminated, taken over, and he's chasing you through like a generator because you have to turn the power back on. And there's a spot where you kind of have to crawl underneath these little crawl spaces and then sneak back out, throw cans to distract him and go to the next one. I eventually got into one of the hiding spots, and if he finds you, he'll chase after you and eventually like lose track and be like, I wonder where he went. But he would not leave. He would not leave, and eventually just kind of crawled into the spot. I probably sat there for a good like 5 to 7 minutes being like, I can't get out. Like, I can't. Do I just have to die here and then try again? Also, I found out I had to go the other way, but it was still weird that like I couldn't escape if I went the wrong way. Like, rather than him just grab me and killing me, I was kind of trapped until I decided to let myself die. So that was a little weird. Oh. Otherwise, really cool game. I'm not normally into horror. I won't play horror games unless they're for stream. I've done some of the Resident Evils. I'm sitting on Resident Evil 4. I haven't even touched it. But like Still Wakes the Deep has that indie horror vibe to it where it's really pretty. The models are great. The details, everything awesome. Some weird clipping with the monsters. Again, they're like stringy blobious creatures. So sometimes they're like veins and tentacles will like clip through stuff. It's not actually coming after you, but they walked past, so it kind of shows. I'm digging a lot. I'm excited with air quotes around it to get back into it tonight on stream, or 2 days from now for you and I. But yeah, I'm just the ocean. What a scary place. Eventually I'm gonna end up in the water. I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna hate it so much. But yeah, this one's on Game Pass. I think it's also on Steam and PlayStation. But yeah, I'd recommend it if you like a good horror game. You like something simple enough where it's not super like, oh god, the whole world's creepy, but like it's still creepy.
Yeah.
But this is tame enough for the guy who doesn't like horror games.
Okay. So if you like, on a scale of 1 to Alien Isolation, where would it be?
Interesting. Assuming Alien Isolation's like a 10, I'd say this is probably in the 6-7 range on that thing. Okay. Again, that is also boosted by my fear of the water. So like there's kind of that combination. I did think though, speaking of isolation, if there was like more of the talking, like mechanic, like if I speak, they're going to hear me and come after me type deal. This game doesn't quite have that. You don't have someone constantly lingering behind you like a Mr. X type deal. But if you did, this would definitely jump up. This would be a lot scarier because when they're constantly chasing you, if this freaking dude, maybe a little spoilers for a bit into the game here, but if that dude was chasing me the whole time, no. I might have put the game down. That's scary, man. That's petrifying.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm digging it. I'm really excited again as like someone who doesn't dig horror games that way. Knowing that I'll be able to like get back into this one and have some more fun. Chat seems to be enjoying it as well. They were like, "Are we finishing the water game?" Like, "Oh, we're gonna try to." I don't know how long it is altogether. I haven't checked how long to beat. But also how long to beat's always off for me because you're like 10 hours. I'm like, okay, so like 15 hours for me. Got it. Okay. So, but hoping it's like, I don't want it to be too short, but if it's short enough that I could finish it this Thursday on stream, that'd be great. But it'll most likely bleed in the following week as well. So,
I think so. I haven't checked how long to beat either, but
let me see here. Let me double check. How long to beat? Still wakes the deep. The gamer, not how long to beat, but the gamer says 4 to 5 hours. So if that's the case, I could potentially knock out an extreme, but I also suck. And then how long to beat says 4.5, 5 hours for side quest, 6 for completionist. So I might not be too far from beating it. It looks like it might be a short enough one. So, all right, TBD,
okay, cool.
TBD.
All right.
Bet. Timestamp. All right, tell me about now. I've downloaded this game. I gotta start preambling without saying what the game is. Tell me about Cozy Grove Camp Spirit.
Well, first of all, I was a big fan of the original. I played the shit out of the original game.
Yeah.
And I had mixed feelings about this one releasing because it's at the moment it's only on available on mobile if you have a Netflix account.
Right.
And I played the original on my Switch, which was really good. The game scratched like the itch that Animal Crossing New Horizons so nearly did.
Yeah.
And that it's a game that you only play for a little bit of time every day. And it felt more interesting than Animal Crossing did, because you play as a spirit scout, and you have to help like these bear spirits move on in the afterlife. All of these spirits are stuck in Camp Spirit in this case, because they have something they still have to deal with.
Very Spiritfarer in that way. We dig it. We love it.
Yeah, exactly. The cool thing is you get to know more about them as you like perform these menial tasks for them. Mostly fetch quests.
Yeah.
But they never get boring. It's like there's always something interesting about them because it feeds into their story or into your story.
Right.
At the same time, you have the possibility to like decorate the camp in any way that you will, that you want. It's just really cool. And the backstories, let me get back to that.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place.
We gotta talk about all the things. I get it.
Yeah. Now the backstories are what makes Cozy Grove one of my favorite games. Because there's you're not gonna like all of the characters at first, but you're gonna come to understand them.
Sure.
And I think the writing here is such a big star, and where I had mixed feelings going into this because of the mobile only thing, that feeling has evaporated. I've been drawn in, and I'm hooked yet again.
Let's go. I'm happy to hear that. I had this weekend I had a buddy's birthday party. We were hanging out, and one of my friends there, we were talking about it. We both have it downloaded but haven't touched it yet, and we were both kind of in that same spot of like, interesting, I have to play it on my phone. I never finished the first Cozy Grove, but I started on PlayStation. I hadn't done time traveling yet, but she had. She was like, oh yeah, I was like, I beat the day, change the clock, move forward, do the next day, so I could just keep playing. Which I think is how a lot of people like to play it. It's probably how I'll end up playing it once I get the itch of like, I just want to finish it. I want to keep going.
Okay.
We were both like, man, this one looks really cute. I'm excited to see more. In a case of like people who've played the first one and going into the second one, are there any like major changes or things like improvements, things like, oh, in this one you do this now, there's this included? Like, what would be the selling point for like the sequel?
Well, I believe I'm not that far in yet, but I believe that the world that you play in is bigger than the original.
We like a bigger world.
Yeah, and there's also just more to do. For example, I got this power washer early on.
Okay.
That you can use to clean buildings and that's just one of many new features that are involved. And also there's a bit of a mystery to your own story, which I like, because the game starts with you and other scouts preparing to go on a field trip, and then all of a sudden you wake up, your bus has crashed. Ooh. And you are in Camp Spirit, but there's you have no idea where the others are.
Yeah.
And another thing that might be interesting for other people, I'm not the biggest multiplayer kind of person, but this game has multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now I'm interested on. I know you say you're not the multiplayer guy. I'm interested in how this one works as far as the multiplayer, because you're playing it through Netflix, and as far as I know, Netflix doesn't have like a friends list you can have or anything. So I'm interested to see how that multiplayer works. If it's like a local thing, if it's I use like the Play Store friends list or the Apple. I don't know if Apple has a friends list either, but that's interesting.
I'm not too sure either. I don't know if I've encountered any part of the multiplayer aspect yet.
Okay.
But what I did encounter was at times there were other spirit scouts there, and you couldn't interact with them, but they were in a space where there was something to interact with. For example, sometimes you have to dig up things, or you have to mine some rock, and these spirit scouts would be at one of these rocks or at one of these digging spaces.
Yeah.
And you do it together. I think that might be the multiplayer aspect.
Hell yeah. That's really cute. Ah, that looks great. I'm glad you're digging it. Like I said, it's sitting installed on my phone. I had recently installed the new Monster Hunter puzzle game. It's like a match 3 type deal.
Ooh.
And those get the itch. They make the brain go burr. So it's like, I'm not quite ready for Cozy Grove. I'm still playing freaking Monster Hunter whatever. But yeah, I have Cozy Grove installed. That might be my new bedtime ritual for that one. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's a game that won't take up too much of your time every day. But you can return to it every day. Like, I'm not one of those people who forwarded their clocks. I just played for like half an hour each day, and
Tofr. I play it the right way.
I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm saying that's the way that works for me.
Yeah, you call me out for time traveling. Listen, I play Animal Crossing how I want. I'm double checking quick. Do we know about other platforms? Do we know if it's just mobile? Like, will it come to other places yet?
They have, like, in interviews, they have mentioned that they wanted to be available on every platform that also has Netflix.
Yeah. Okay.
So PCs, televisions.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting one, right? Because I've had people ask about like Netflix games and how it works. I know they've talked about like putting on TVs with like specific controllers, or if you can like sync a controller to your TV through Bluetooth. I've never tried. I've only ever done Netflix gaming through my phone. So it's always an interesting thing. I'd love to be able to just sit in the living room and play through Netflix. I think that's a lot of people that don't even know you can play games on Netflix. I think it's a really cool thing they have. Plus, I know Moonlighter's on there, so go play some fucking Moonlighter. There's no excuse. Yeah,
and Spiritfarer.
Spiritfarer, I know they have the right. I think this is theirs, but Oxenfree 2. I think the first one's on there. I think the first one's on there too. Like I said, here probably scroll through Netflix and tell a bunch of the freaking games on there, but yeah, that's awesome. Cozy Grove, really cool one. Camp Spirit.
Yeah,
I'm pulling up Netflix games. It's not loading.
Yeah, the only thing that I might add as like a bit of a critique is that the UI doesn't always lend itself to a mobile phone screen.
Okay. Specifically,
it gets really busy.
Cozy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. Damn. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of like the virtual keyboard and stuff. I think if it's the game I care about enough, I can get used to it. But even in those cases, I prefer when they give the option of like scaling the HUD. Like, I'll typically make a beer because I got some fat thumbs. So like when I try to play on the little ones, I end up like falling off a map or something. But even if the sensitivity allows where like the gameplay is not behind those icons and the HUD and everything, I think it's usually nicer. But hell yeah, Cozy Grove. Check it out on Netflix if you got it. And around what we've been playing, I don't have too much to say on this one because, we've talked about it before. But I got scolded this month because I didn't play anything for Pride. I didn't play any gay games, as chat said.
Oh.
That's on me. Like, you should have played a gay game. And I was like, well, what gay games do I have? Like Life is Strange. Everybody on TikTok's playing Life is Strange for the first time for the new one. I get it. I could replay Life is Strange. I would love to do that. But chat was like, how about you do Unpacking? I'm like, you know what? Spoiler alert, that is a gay game. So last night, as of recording, we played through Unpacking on stream. It is such a magical game in its storytelling. It really is. I love the story you get from this game. And I'm sure other games have done it, but none have hit me quite as hard as Unpacking in the way that your story of your character is told through unpacking stuff. Like quite literally as the game is, you as a kid, you move into your new house, you're like 7 maybe, and you're unpacking your toys, you're putting them all in the bed, but sometimes you have a little too much stuff, so the bed's cluttered, as kids' beds would be. You skip forward a couple years, you move into college, you're in a college dorm where you have too much stuff, or it's cluttered stuff. You have mismatching cups, you have different colored underwear. And don't get me started on this whole conversation that started where someone in chat goes like, so you guys fold your underwear? Who does that? I'm like, what do you mean who folds their underwear? You don't fold your underwear? They're like, no, it's a waste of time. So I made a whole Twitter poll being like, do you guys fold your underwear? And right now, I think as of like before we recorded, we were at like 75 to 25% of people who fold their underwear to people who don't. I'm like, good. There's intelligent people out there. People are like, I just throw my underwear in a drawer. Totally unrelated to Unpacking. But Burb, Rennick, you're Neanderthals. Fold your underwear, damn it. So, but no, back to the story. Yeah, like as you're moving from place to place, like I think one of my favorite chapters is it's 3 or 4. But you move in with a boyfriend, like you can see like you're in a relationship, you're moving into his place. And though it's not my favorite, cause it still makes you feel kind of icky, you can feel you're in a place where you're not welcome or you're not like comfortable there because his house is this very like black, white, and gray color scheme. And as you're unpacking your stuff, you're like, I've got my purple cup that I put my toothbrush into. I've got my colorful comic books and video games, and they're all blues and reds, and it really messes with the flow of the room. And then in the bedroom,
he's got square plates.
He's got square plates. It's such a, and like as a style, I do enjoy what he's got going on, but because he's not my character and he's making it hard for me to move in, I don't like him. And they tell it also by like how challenging it is to move in because you have to make room. In the living room, you can't move his stuff. You physically can't pick it up and move it. So you have to just kind of find space to put your books. In the bedroom, there's a big window and all the walls are taken by the size of the closet or like the perspective of the game. So eventually you have your own like award you got for your career and you can't hang it anywhere. So you have to store it under the bed, which is a very like, oh man, like my achievements are like being looked down upon. Then, kind of spoilers, you break up, you move out, you're moving into another place, a little bit more cramped, but you're doing it. It's just the step by step. You could easily see this as just like a game of throwing stuff onto shelves and doing it. But if you really pay attention to all the different things, like why is this level so challenging? Why is this happening? What's going on here? It is such a great story being told throughout it. And I know the team is working on their next game, Tempo Po, which is like a rhythm type game. But I was like, fuck, I would love an Unpacking too. I would love that so much. Man, what a cool one. God, I love it. Really is. Also 50% off for Steam Summer Sale.
Nice. It's also just so satisfying. Like the noises. All of the noises are so good. And when you manage to like put everything in its right space, it just looks so good. Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. I have like 3 trophies left. I forgot there's a trophy you have to flush every toilet in the house. And I was halfway through the story. I'm like, shit, I forgot to flush the toilets. So I have to go back and play through again to get the platinum. I have it on PS5, I have to get it on PS4. Also a great one with kids. At least with my baby cousin. She came over the one day. I was like super bored. I'm like, she wanted to see the big cool game room. So I'm like, you want to check out this video game? So we start playing Unpacking. She didn't get it at first. And then I made the joke where I put the toaster in the bathtub, which is also an achievement. But she was like, that's not where that goes. I'm like, that's where I put it. She's like, no, it has to go in the kitchen. And then she got let loose. Everything was a joke. Everything, it turned into like pooping and peeing in the bathtub, pooping and peeing in the kitchen, pooping and peeing in the bedroom. I'm like, all right, Jalen, calm down. She's like, pooping and peeing. And I'm like, all right, game's over. We're done. But Nah, she loved it. She loved just like not even finishing levels, just throwing stuff everywhere and putting like things where they didn't belong. So if you're not too concerned with completing the levels and just what the kids do enjoy, it's a pretty great one for that too.
I did struggle with it. Like I watched my friend Daphne play it last week, I think.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's super satisfying, but at the same time, some of the boxes.
Yeah.
Who the hell puts kitchen stuff in with the bedroom stuff?
It's crazy.
You just don't do that.
Oh, it's wild. The amount of times where like there's a point where like you're unpacking like the bathroom and you have like bedroom stuff. I think in the living room there's like the printer. We're like, that should have been in the office boxes. What are you doing?
Yes.
Why are you packing like this? Oh man. Nah, dude, unpacking is so freaking special. Like, I don't think I'd ever put it on, like, probably my top 50, I would assume. But, like, if we're talking top 10, I don't think I love it, like, that much. But in terms of just the storytelling, like, it's usually the first one I jump to because there is storytelling of, like, hey, the characters are talking, dialogue's happening. But, like, for environmental storytelling, unpacking is, like, unrivaled. I love the storytelling in this game. It is so good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fuck. Give me unpacking too. Put Tempo on hold. Ah, damn. But yeah, that's what we've been playing this week. Good times over here. I can't close the stream for some reason. I have to watch myself. Here we go. Timestamp. But with that, let's move on to the games releasing this week. Quiet this early week of July. Not a whole lot going on. So for the day, July 4th through July 10th, we have Once Human dropping on July 9th for PC. I did do a quick look up. This was I think at Summer Game Fest, like the Jeff Keighley showcase, zombie survival thing, maybe zombies. It's weird. I feel like anything that looks like a zombie, that's not a zombie. That's a necromancer. That's not a necromorph, whatever the Dead Cells ones are. Dead Cells. Fuck me. Dead Space. Fuck it. Go Once Human. That's a thing. And then Lifeless Moon, also dropping on July 9th, is coming to PC through Epic Games Store, as well as PlayStation and Xbox. It's already available on Steam since last year. Third-person astronaut game. You're kind of exploring, I guess, a planet or like space station and stuff like that. Looks okay. Looks fine. Any of those you're excited for?
Not really.
Okay. That checks out.
But that's okay because like with the Steam summer sale still going on, I don't have time for new games right now.
Exactly. Too much.
Yeah.
I only have time for old games that'll go in my library and I probably won't play right away. But
absolutely.
Oh man. But timestamp. Let us know if you're playing any of those. To round out the episode, don't forget you can write into the show and tell us what your favorite indie game is, just like friend of the show and previous guest Jacob McCord did this week. Jacob writes in and says, let's talk about another indie game that I love. This time, let's shout out Neon White. The pixel-perfect movement shooting makes this one hard to forget. I spent so many hours trying to shave milliseconds off of my time, milliseconds off of my level times due to the addictive asynchronous multiplayer. How much Neon White you played? You play Neon White?
I played it for a little while and I can recognize that it's a really good game. It's just not my type of game.
I get you. It's
too fast. It's too fast.
It's fast. It's fast. I got addicted to this for a while, man. I was so low disk space. Don't yell at me. We're fine. We're almost done with the episode. Relax. Yikes. So it came out on Steam and I was like, I'm waiting for a PlayStation port because I'd love to get the platinum. I ended up breaking. I bought it on Steam for them to announce like, hey, by the way, it comes out on PlayStation tomorrow. I'm like, you bastard. So I refunded it on Steam, picked it up on PlayStation for full price. It is so addicting. Jacob's so right. So the thing with the asynchronous multiplayer is that you get leaderboards. So when you beat it, you see your friends list and people online who have like, I beat the level in 15 seconds. You're like, oh, I only did it in 16. I got to find the way to do it faster. Every level has secret like presents that you use as collectibles. There's some cringy anime style dialogue that like could be better. I'm going to do without. But Steve Blum's in there, who plays the Neon White. You have Neon Red, Neon Purple, Neon Yellow, Neon Green, all these different characters. And you're just trying to like become the fastest speedrunner in like heaven. And you're trying to like, I think you're dead. If you lose, you go to hell. If you win the whole thing, you move to heaven or get back to life. I forget what the story is, but it's just really fun. And I wanted to get the platinum. I think my major problem came down to the trophy glitch for getting the collectibles. Because I got them all, but it's like, you have to get all the collectibles. I'm like, I haven't. The list is full. I've gotten everything. I've gone to every level. I've diamond, aced, whatever, every level. Like I got it. So that one didn't work. And then the only other trophies I'm missing is there's complete the game. I think it's Nightmare Run is what it's called. But essentially you have to play through the full game without dying, which is brutal. It's brutal. And then there's a second one, which if I recall, you have to play through the whole game without dying, but you only get the rocket launcher, which is a great weapon. But ammo's sparse. You have to be really careful. So I think if the itch is there and you learn the levels, you could do it, but it's a lot. And like, those are the two trophies. I'm like, this will be the most, but once I get into them, I'll get them. But then the bug trophy, I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. Because even if I do the hard stuff, until they decide to fix it, I just won't have it. So that sucks. But stylistically, kick-ass game. I love Neon White. Good pick on Jacob's part.
Absolutely.
Sick-ass game. If you guys haven't played Neon White yet, do that. And also be sure to write in using the form in the description and tell us what your favorite indie game is so we can read it right here on the show. Timestamp. And with that, that's our episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tofr, if the little scrublets on the internet wanted to find you, where would they go?
They can find me as play.nice.kids with either dots or underscores between the words on just about everything.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And of course, at CGDannyB over on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, whole 9 yards. Don't forget, we're streaming more Still Wakes Deep tonight, twitch.tv/CGDannyB. Come hang out. And I guess we're doing a cooking stream on Saturday. I don't know what we're making yet, but that's on the schedule. So look forward to that. Come over to Twitch. Nice. And with that, that is another episode. Don't forget, go play some Night in the Woods. Prepare in a couple weeks for that book club. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. We'll be playing as well. And yeah, I think that's it. Anything else for him, Tofr?
Have a lovely 4th of July.
Absolutely. Set off some fireworks for us. Thanks, guys. Mwah.